Take 5 with Ricovibes, the ultimate in entertainment. Live interviews, social commentary, and so much more. Go tell somebody you're now locked into Take 5 with Ricovibes.
What's up, everybody? It's yours truly, Ricovibes, and welcome to another edition of Take 5. Now, a few weeks ago, we had an editorial about security and what they do or don't do in Bliss Lounge. I'm happy to welcome Ricky, the security.
Brother. Doing all right, man?
I'm doing good at Bliss Lounge. And he was one of the topics of discussion. And I wanted to give him an opportunity to come in and just state his story. What's going on with you?
Pretty good, man. Busy, but, hey, listen, I always take out a few minutes to answer questions that people have and kind of give a different perspective on it. And so when I seen the interview a few weeks ago, I wanted to reach out to you because I think it's a misconception going on. And some of the points that were brought out was taken in, but also a part of this that people are not getting, are not understanding. And so I want to be able to express that.
Absolutely.
And so that, and my hope is that we can move forward and make things better for everybody, because my ultimate goal is to see people come out, have a great time, and go home the way they came.
Gotcha.
And that's my ultimate goal. And sometimes there's things in the way that keeps us from doing that.
True. And
it comes off as attitude, or it comes off as bossy, or it comes off as he thinks he's better than everybody. And truly, it's not that. I'm not that person. I truly care about everybody that we encounter, because it's my job ultimately to make sure that you have a great experience, not just because I want you to come and go safely, because it is a business. And the more that promoters come back, the more it brings money to the club and it brings money to my security company. But I want people to understand that I would never put their safety in jeopardy over what somebody want me to do or what they think we should be doing. Because I do understand that people know very little about how security should actually go and how it should actually operate. So when you have a conception of this the way it should be, or it's better be this way or better be that way, I am that person that would stand on the side of law before I stand on the side of taking your money and say, we'll just do it this way. Because once it's all said and done, it's me that have to stand in front of the judge if something goes wrong. And not the promoter, not the club owner, not the club goers. And so I have to protect it from that aspect, because this is the way I feed my family. So,
well, let me start here. How long have you been in the business of security?
So I've been in security for 25 years. I've owned my own business for 15. I've learned from some of the greatest people out there. But I also know how to do it wrong and how to do it right. I choose to do it right, and sometimes it looks confrontational. Sometimes it looks like I'm doing my own thing. But I think the problem is we have been around so many people who have done it wrong for so long that when you encounter people who trying to do it right, it becomes a clash. Now, one of the main things I heard you guys say that stuck out to me was that I don't understand the culture. I don't understand the people. What I would say to that is that you're absolutely correct. Before I even took this assignment with Bliss, I explained this to Ralston that there's always going to be a language barrier there, for one. And two, there is a cultural barrier. But the barriers should not supersede what's right and what's wrong. Now, example. When I'm at the door, promoters put us in a bad situation from the beginning. You don't want to deal with your friends on the subject of paying or not paying. Rico, what people don't understand, that's not a security issue.
So you say promoters put you in that predicament?
They don't want to go to the door. Hey, listen, I already gave out the tickets I'm going to give out for free, or boom, boom, boom. It's not this club or the security responsibility to say who pays and who don't. My job is to make sure you don't walk through that door with a weapon and we keep order. Now, if you're holding up the line and you're causing a problem, we will remove you. But what people don't understand is no one just going to be willing to walk away.
But it also depends on how you remove them.
So here's the other, what I would tell you is, I've walked up to people, hey, sir, hey, ma'am, listen, I don't know what the conflict is, but you have to pay to go in. I ain't going to pay to do nothing. This my party, or this my home, boy. You have to understand from a security standpoint, we don't know.
Gotcha.
Only thing I know is you're holding up the line. Now, as you know, most of the community comes out late.
Yes.
Everybody come 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Correct.
And everybody assume that when they show up, they should be able to just walk right through the door.
Correct.
It don't work like
Everybody's
that.
a VIP.
Everybody.
Yeah.
It don't work that way.
Do you have an initial meeting with the promoters either prior to or the night of the event?
So what we try to do is we try to meet with the promoter a week before.
Okay.
The problem is everybody is never available.
Gotcha.
And I feel like sometimes people do it purposely. And the reason why I say that is because the night of, now you got this long list of demands and you wanted to, it can't happen that way. Truly, Rico, security is supposed to be based upon legally in the state of Georgia, the square footage of the building,
Right.
the type of event,
Right.
and the number of attendees.
Okay.
If we actually did it that way, not only Bliss, but every lounge club in this metro Atlanta area would never be open because the bill would be too much. The price would be outrageous.
Gotcha.
But we have to try to stay in some type of parameters. I can't honestly sit here and tell you that we probably have the cheapest service than most security companies
cheap
right
is
now.
cheap is never really good, though.
But here's the thing about that.
Right.
We try to be reasonable.
Gotcha.
We have seen people who charge way more than what we do and don't even do a close of a job.
Gotcha.
Even in this community, when we left Bliss the first time, we had several calls from patrons, not even the owner. Why y'all left? When y'all coming back? Hey, man, them guys standing out drinking. Them guys out there letting people bring guns in. And I felt bad because it gives the whole security community a bad name.
Correct.
I don't want to be the person that enhanced that problem. I like to be the person who fixed the problem.
Okay.
But when it comes to the relationship between us and the promoter, I heard something in that podcast that kind of made me feel unease. And it says that when a promoter rents the club, that the security need to understand that they working for that promoter.
That's not the case?
That's not the case.
Okay.
It's a contracted services. And the reason why I want people to be careful about saying that, Rico, if I come in here and you say I work for you and initially I'm really contracted by you, if you're saying that I work for you, that means you take on any responsibility that I may or may not do right or wrong.
Okay.
So that's first off, you want to be careful about what language you put out there.
Gotcha.
Secondly, you contracted with the club that happens to have part of their contract a security company.
Okay.
Now, what's unique about Bliss, that I will say that Bliss makes it that you have to use this company.
Right.
Some places do allow you, if you
bring in your own
bring your own security, they have the proper paperwork.
Right.
The issue is, I don't have a problem with working with people. It's in the manner in which you carry the attitude. Hey, you work for me and this what you gonna do tonight. That would change the whole complex of the night.
Okay.
No one comes to Bliss or anywhere else come to be angry. I didn't come there to be upset or yell at people.
Okay.
But this is how the night starts out. And then you gotta, then again, here's where the language barrier comes from. Some people I can understand as clear as day as me and you talking.
Right.
Some people I don't have a clue what they're saying. So then now you got to bring another person in to try to explain.
Okay.
But then now that person is frustrated because maybe that person ain't telling me exactly what they're saying.
Gotcha.
Or they're not appreciating my response.
Okay.
You can't come to me the night of your event and say, hey, we're going to use this door as a VIP. You can't. You don't have the security for it. What you mean? I paid for the club. And and again, it starts a trickle-down effect. What I tell people is, Rico, one, never give anybody your money till you have a complete understanding of what you're paying for.
Correct.
And two, make sure the person that's taking your money have enlisted everybody else that is going to be a part of your event to understand exactly what you are paying for.
Gotcha.
See, if I'm not a part of that conversation when you're signing this contract and paying your money, you can't be upset with me if I'm just going by the basic rules that we normally go by.
Okay, so if I'm hearing you correctly, what you're saying is there's a translation problem between whoever taking the money for the contract, which would be the club owners, club management, and security in pertaining to that particular event.
Night, to that particular event,
right.
Because every event is different.
Gotcha.
So let's take your event for example.
Right.
Most of the people you deal with are the adult, what we consider grown folk type of crowd.
Correct.
None of those people In the 2 years we done your event, no one ever tried to sneak a gun in.
Right. But you've had that issue.
But we carry that issue in almost every Jamaican event we have. Does that mean we got a problem with Jamaicans? No. But the problem is, I don't understand, if you go into a Jamaican event with people that you know, why would you be trying to bring the gun in?
So do you find that occurrence in most of the events, quote unquote Jamaican?
Every Jamaican event, we find more than 10 to 15 guns at the door.
Trying to come in with
the gun. That's not, people get upset because we asked them to leave the building if the club management have allowed them to come in and decorate and all that stuff so we can search the building. Mm-hmm. We find several guns from promotion staff that's been hidden inside the club. So you got to understand, when you're searching and you finding guns, you go on high alert as a security person, because what is finna happen in here tonight that someone felt the need to bring their gun. So, although it may looks like an attitude thing, most of it, 90%, I will tell you, is fear. Because you don't know, wait a minute, it's supposed to be a concert or somebody having a party. Why did the promotion staff hide a gun in here?
Okay.
So your mindset changes. Right. Your thought processes change. Right. So then when I'm at the door, it looks like I'm agitated. I'm actually worried, like, what's gonna happen? So now I will tell you this. When my mindset changes, sometimes it twists my attitude, and sometimes it may look like it's confrontational with people, but I promise you, it's the mindset of having to worry about everybody. See, that's my responsibility. Okay. Because with the contract I have with the club, see, it's my insurance first. Gotcha. It's my responsibility first. Can you go back and sue the promoter? Yeah. Can you go back and sue the club owner? Yeah. But guess what? They have an out. Their out is we have a professional security company that we got a signed contract with that's supposed to prevent these type of things from happening.
That's bonded for that reason.
That's bonded for that reason. Gotcha. See, because what happens is when you sign that contract with the club, you're really releasing yourself from the responsibility of safety. Because they provide the safety and security for you.
Right. Otherwise, you'll be able to bring your own security.
You bring your own security. Now you taking that responsibility yourself. Right. One of the things I heard you guys say that I think is a big issue for everybody is that we need to address is this stage.
Yes.
So what I would tell you is the stage thing is not a security rule. Okay. It's a house rule based upon the event.
Okay.
Now, I do understand from ownership perspective, once you start spending your money into upgrading your facility and putting nice things in there, you want to protect it. And we have seen people throw bottles up there on the stage. We've seen people spray that champagne on people for birthdays and stuff. But there's no accountability when that stuff is broken, damaged, or destroyed. Now, before every event, Ralston, what is the understanding with the promoter about the stage? Right. X, Y, and Z. Either they can have the DJs on there or nobody on there, or this person can have a table on there. Whatever the conversation is based upon the event. Right. Now, one in particular story y'all talked about
was I think it was
I forget the young man's name.
Toya Stash and her husband.
Yes.
Where you had to remove him.
All right, so they didn't have permission to be on the stage.
Okay.
Some of the promoters like to play management and ownership against each other.
Okay.
Now, that particular promoter stood right there with myself and the owner in the office the day prior and the day of, and he told him no one could be on the stage.
Okay.
They could use the little area off to the side.
Correct.
That promoter took it upon himself to go to management, and management said, yeah, you could put your host on the stage with her 5 guests.
So the management wasn't aware of what the owner said.
So
okay.
Now, it ain't my job to referee these two people.
Gotcha.
It's my job to repeat back to management what ownership says.
Okay.
But the reality of it, management is there.
Right.
And whatever he says, that's what we going with.
Okay.
All right. Cool. The one table, 5 people.
Right.
The young lady comes in with her husband.
Right.
And two of the other guests supposed to show up later.
Okay.
All right, those 2 guests show up. Now, I put a security there for that reason.
Okay.
So he decided he wanted to bring some more people on stage.
Okay.
The husband, the security told him that he couldn't do it. He told the security, this part of our event, and, these are our friends. We can't be up here and lead them out.
Okay.
By the time I got there, they had already kind of squared off. I sent the security off. I'm standing here trying to explain to you why. Mm-hmm. When you start telling me, you ain't got to listen to none of that and blah this and blah. My first reaction is, let me find the promoter.
What?
You know where to be found. Then I see you out the corner of my eye. You standing back watching. Now, you created this mess, but you weren't even man enough to come up to deal with it. After asking the man several times to calm down, if anybody paid attention, I motioned to Slacker to cut the lights on.
Yeah, I remember that.
So my intention was, this is getting out of hand in front of everybody.
Right.
Let's walk outside and talk.
Right.
I walked up to him and said, let's step outside and see what we can. And when you make gesture moves and snatching that type of stuff, again, you got to understand, I come from corrections. I come from, dealing with violent offenders. I come from dealing with working the clubs downtown.
Right.
To be honest with you, Rico, we really do a way more talking than I've ever done in my whole life. But it's a different era. When you own your own thing, you try to be different. I didn't come from that era. We ask you one, and then we move you. We try to give people the opportunity to walk on their own. But before it escalates and get way out of hand, it's easier for me to remove you. But the part people don't talk about, when he finally got outside and calmed down, his wife came out and he was calm and we all talked. They was allowed back in.
Yeah, no,
it doesn't benefit me to put you out or to let you stay. That because again, I'm not gonna win or lose either way. But again, I do understand from the naked eye of people who only know partial of the story.
I was on the side watching, and it looked away to me.
Yeah, and again, and it looks that way because you're not right there in it, nor are you trying to be.
Right.
But only thing Rico knows is it's an easygoing guy. We never,
you
know what I'm
seen
saying?
him having any problems.
So, but again, people don't understand the perception that for whatever reason, Rico, everybody got to be VIP. I don't understand.
That's how it is in the community. But my thing is though, and to be rebut some of what you're saying, as a part of, you're in a Caribbean club. Okay, well, I would think you would know that we mainly come to party.
True.
So I would think that you would at least learn some of the culture and some of the language so that we don't have those problems. Because a lot of the times it's really the language and the body movement, which they may act aggressive, but that's just not how they are.
Yeah.
Just like the African culture, they speak loud, but they're not shouting.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So my thing is listen, let's learn the culture because you've been there for, I don't even know how long. You've been there for a minute.
Yeah.
So, and like I said before, I've never had any issues with you. You and I are cool. We speak to each other. We're cordial with each other. We're professional with each other. But I've seen issues with other people, and once you start adding it up, you say, well, wait a minute. It's the same person, meaning you. So, but now I get it because you're the head of the company. And so you're the one who have to step up and take charge. I get it. But by the same token, I think you should at least learn the language.
So what I would say to that is, Rico, is that over a period of time, I've learned ways to communicate with most of the patrons that come. Because the good thing about Bliss is I encounter these people at other events. And so for the most part, it's a good dialogue. Like, I won't say the exact set of people, but there's a group of people that comes to most of the event. And, when they first used to come, they was always rowdy, always carried the weapons, always. And I realized something about all of them. They all are respectable as long as they feel that you're calm. So when that group of people comes, it's crazy, but I get a text message, hey, we coming tonight. I'm at the door. You know why? One, because they already know what I'm going to tell them. I tell you what, before I search into y'all, whoever got the gun, take it back. They'll start laughing, but you'll see one walk away. Now, I know all y'all like to walk in together. We ain't doing that tonight.
Yeah.
You know, but so I've learned different ways of dealing with them.
Right.
Now, can I actually learn the actual language? Who knows? You know, I try not to even do clubs anymore. I do Bliss because when I started on my own, away from other companies, Bliss was one of the first companies that gave me an opportunity. It was on Sam and her brother.
Right.
So I've always been grateful for that.
What I will say, though, is that you don't seem to have these issues at any other venue. It just seems to only be Bliss.
You know why? Because Bliss has a stigma that, hey, I'm going to come in here and do what I want to do.
Really?
Yes. If I go, the same group of people that are complaining, I see them over at Caribbean Connection,
Right.
or I see them downtown,
Right.
or I see them at a Lotus event, or I see them at one of DJ Choice event. I'm saying,
you don't have
this
that
is
issue.
the same people.
Yeah.
You know what it is? We have to change this stigma that Bliss is just a place that anybody can come and do anything they want. Because these same people that complain about waiting in line, these same people who complain about being searched, these same people complain about they can't do it their way, they do not have that same mentality and attitude in other venues. Partially because they know that the other venues will always err on the side of caution and close the door. Bliss, the thing I like about Bliss, they like to give everybody an opportunity.
Right. They do.
The thing that frustrates me about Bliss is the opportunity can't always take precedent over safety. If you have shown in the past that you have a pattern of behavior, then that same pattern of behavior can't be allowed, because if you don't change it, the person is not going to change.
It's going to continue.
It's just like going to rob a bank.
Yeah.
You can rob the bank and take $1 million. And if you get away with it, you're not going to be satisfied with the $1 million because it was so easy. You're going back again.
Yeah. You're right.
I tell Ralston this all the time. There's never nothing wrong with saying no if it's for the safety of everybody.
Okay.
But there's a history that no matter what, it's always going to be yes. And I'm fine with that, because here's the reality of it. A lot of promoters get upset if I say, listen, if this is not what you want and we can't get it together, then I don't have a problem with going home. Oh, Ross, he trying to shut down my event. It's not that. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you about safety. I'm not going to sit here and have an argument with you because you refused to follow the rules, or you didn't want to meet prior to explain exactly what you want. See, sometimes, Rico, people have this thing, well, if I don't meet with them, I don't answer the phone, the night of, they ain't going to say no because they don't want me to ask for my money back. I'm sorry. I'm that guy. I'm willing to walk away knowing that I didn't allow something to happen on my watch because we ignored the safety.
Have you ever had to do that?
Yes. I've left.
Did the event go on?
No.
Okay.
But then, if the flip side of it is, well, Ricky, that's costing me money. I'd rather cost you money than cost my life.
What can we do as a community and as just promoters in general to make it where it's a win-win for both of us?
So, first of all, Rico, I do want it to be a win-win for everybody. Because like I stated earlier, I want you to come back as a repeat customer.
Good.
Because the better your experience, the more likely you're going to come back.
Correct.
But the first thing is it's vital to have that conversation.
So that upfront conversation with the promoter or the person whose party it is.
The second part of that first answer is, if I'm meeting with Rico and they say this is Rico party, Rico need to be honest with us and say, hey, it's 4 or 5 of us who event it is.
Gotcha.
Because again, my mindset is this is Rico event. Let me deal with Rico.
Gotcha.
If you got partners, you have to say that.
Right.
The reason being because now you got a problem at the door. Sir, you can't just skip the line. This is my party. Yes, I can.
Gotcha.
Now you know what happens? You mad because I've stopped the line to deal with this.
Right.
People's mindset is, listen, man, I got to get my money. I got to get my money. The line got to keep moving.
Right.
The line can't keep moving if we're dealing with an issue.
Gotcha.
But here's the thing. Like I said, I've been doing it for 25 years. I know it's not a cheap thing to throw an event. I know that it's a nervous panic situation because nobody wants to lose.
Right.
But Rico, if you think you're going to be a first time person to come in and get a quick get rich scheme type thing, you only setting yourself up for failure. Yeah. And then now I give you an example. We met with a young lady. She had an event. First time having an event. I can see from the beginning that it had disaster written all over it. Simply because she just didn't know what she was getting herself into. Uh-huh. Now, the night of the event, we meet her husband. I've seen her husband in Bliss a million times. Uh-huh. I also know the crowd that he runs with.
I think I know the person you're talking about.
So, the whole night, he's at the door, causing more confusion than it has to be. Oh, they good. The whole night, it was just one issue after another. Uh-huh. A week later, she called Roz and said, I think y'all owe me money back. So security let everybody in free. So that's not an accurate statement. Your husband let these people in. Again, I told you in the meeting, we don't get involved in who get in free or who don't. But we do get involved if it's causing a disturbance at the door.
Gotcha.
Wait, who is he to say who get in free in my event? It ain't my responsibility to referee your bedroom either. When we brought the issue to you, you said, I'm frustrated. Just leave me be. Y'all figure it out. Why do I got to figure out your problem? This your money at your door. So now you get home and you count your money and you count your losses. It's everybody else's fault. And Rico, I'm not going to never assume responsibility for something I didn't cause.
Gotcha.
But to everybody else, it looked like we were being confrontational with her. It looked like we were trying to tell her what to do. Ma'am, how do you want us to proceed with this? You holding up your door. I don't know. Just leave me be. See, the issue is you got to be able to trust the people that you hire. Rico, it's several nights I sit right there on that stool. I watch people at the door. 2 people in particular. He said $60 to come in. I watched them person after person after person. Somebody give them $100 bill and you give them $60 back. That's not a security problem. That's a count problem.
Yeah.
I've also seen these same people take the money from the first 3 people, put it in the till. Next 3 people go in their pocket. Wow. So, but these are your people. Wow. So your frustration ain't with the security, but that's your first blame.
Right.
People get upset about the parking situation.
Right.
Nobody understands that the parking responsibility isn't any of ours. People are upset, well, why the police don't do more? Rico, I want to tell everybody today on your show so they'll have a clear understanding what the police job is. When an off-duty police officer comes to any event that you ever see them in, they are a glorified security officer. You pay them because of who they are and what badge they carry. That's why you pay them more money. However, their job is to assist the security. There's no cop that you will ever see enter into a venue. Why? Because if they enter into the venue, then now the venue has to be taken over by the police, which means that officer got to call 911 or get on his radio and call for assistance.
Okay.
If the officer is being paid by the party of Bliss,
right,
that officer's responsibility is to sit in front of the club that pays him because that's what he's radioed into and that's what he's signed into.
So his responsibility is not to roam the parking lot and make sure the cars doesn't get broken into?
The parking lot belongs to the square. The parking lot don't belong to Bliss.
Gotcha.
Now, we have made efforts to try to make it safe. From December to February, we were logged in at 61 break-ins, roughly. That's included within the whole perimeter of this thing. Since March 3rd, we took the parking lot, took a few spaces, charged for parking, paid for a second police, plus put 2 patrol security in the parking lot. From March 1st to this day, not one car break-in.
Because of the extra
Because of
security
the extra
and the
security.
extra police.
But
Now, the promoter doesn't pay for that.
the promoter only
parking
pays
pays
for
that.
one.
Okay.
The parking supposed to pay for it.
Okay.
Now, here's the problem with that. We are working on a new solution because the week of Carnival, for whatever reason, nobody paid to park or whatever. Or other events were going on, so the spaces were already gone by the time we got here. I took $1,000 loss because I paid for the second car and the extra security in the parking lot the whole week.
Gotcha.
Let's just be honest about something. That's not my responsibility. I don't own neither one of these clubs. But I care about what happens to people. I care about what happens on this property. One, because I employ security here. And two, my name is on it like everybody else. In the 9 years I've been on this property, we've had one death. And I take pride in that. And that one death came at the hands of they didn't want to pay the extra hour for security.
What do you say to folks who have said to me and said to others that they're not coming back here because of security? They're not coming back to Bliss because security might have roughed them up or whatever.
I don't want no one to have a bad experience. But I also want people to be honest with themselves. How far did you go to push it that far? Did you contribute to the issue?
Okay.
Now, am I going to sit here and say that every situation been the patron's fault? No. If I'm dealing with Rico, you stepping in is only making it worse. So many times, the person that we having a conflict with, if you notice, never get put out because they are listening. It's everybody else who got to say so. And I get it. Part of it is just trying to protect the person.
Good.
And part of it is, hey, let me try to talk to him. But sometimes it's a heated exchange that you just need to let it play itself out.
Play itself out. Yeah.
Because I will take pride in saying most of the time, I do let people stay. I don't even allow my security to throw anybody out. If y'all ever notice in the 9 years of being here, I'm the only person y'all ever see put hands on people.
True.
I think maybe one other time instance, and that person don't even work for me no more because my belief is this. I've been in some of the most hostile situations in doing security and corrections and stuff and taught some of the baddest people out through long conversation. I do have a belief that almost everybody can be talked down, whether they drunk, high, crazy, whatever. So if you feel you get to the point where the person ain't listening, you got to put your hands on me, then it's time to alert me. Let me deal with it. Now, I will try to say I do my best to try to make sure before it ever gets to that point that I've took all the corrective steps to get you to stop whatever it is that you're doing. But I can't allow you to stay in there and be hostile and put everybody else in danger.
Gotcha.
Because the flip side of that, Rico, thank God we never had it, but sometimes it's a diversion for something else. Sometimes it's to create a chaos for something else.
So somebody can slide in with something.
So what I would tell people is this. If you had a one-on-one bad experience with me or with anybody on my team, I'm always open for conversation. But at the same time, come out and enjoy yourself without the extra stuff.
Okay.
Rico, if you only at Bliss we do this a little different. At most other venues, clubs and stuff that we affiliate with, if you come to the door and you got a knife, gun, pepper spray, razor blade, whatever, you're not allowed in the club at all that night, whether you're taking it back to your car or not, because the belief is, why would you bring it in the first place?
Got it.
But at Bliss, it's different. And that's primarily at the request of the owner. Allow them to take it back to the car and still come in. But what I would tell you is, my philosophy is, Rico, if you acting a fool at the door, it's our fault when you go in and act a fool in the inside. Because you had already shown us
what you can
and so I can't tell the community that they need to come out earlier to party. That's not going to happen. But I will ask you to exercise some type of patience when you come out late. The other part of this, Rico, people don't even know the law. The law says that in DeKalb County, Sunday through Thursday, that every venue should be no drinks in your hand and everybody leaving by 1:30. The venue closed at 2 except workers.
Right.
Friday and Saturday, it should be at 2 o'clock. Nobody have no drinks in their hand. All doors are closed. Everybody leaving the parking lot. And then 9 years we've been here, you've never seen a cop come in and riot. Not one place I've been there.
True.
And the reason being is because I work hard on relationship with people. The understanding that we have with the Tucker supervisor is we already short staffed. I'm not going to be sending cops over there every 5 minutes for every little complaint and this and that. So we take pride in that. Because if we actually follow the law, Bliss wouldn't even be in existence. Because by the time everybody get there, we'll be closing the door.
Yeah.
So you have to understand that we're still trying to operate within the law, but still allow that community to have and express themselves as long as and keep it safe. Because honestly, Rico, through all the arguments you ever seen me or being loud or frustrated or whatever, I can assure all of you guys that it's out of your safety. I want everybody to go home the way they came. Not because I'm worried about being sued.
Right.
Not because I worry about losing anything. Because me, myself, I want to go home the same.
The VIP, well, what we consider the VIP door, which would be the side door. Wouldn't it be easy if they have an additional metal detector there as well to alleviate some of these issues?
Yes and no. Yes, it would make perfectly sense, but no, because legally that's your exit door.
Okay.
So when we're doing it, we do it. You see what I mean? So it comes with another barrier. It's really the exit door. Okay. Now, some people say, well, why do we always have to use one line? We got one metal detector.
Right.
Rico, we've had situations where we've had multiple lines. The holdup isn't the security. The holdup is your door.
Right. They can't take people.
So now they want. Right. See, here's the thing about scanning tickets. It's nice to have it. You don't got to worry about papers and stuff. But the cell towers work the same. You get too many people on their phone at one time, it's not going to scan. It's going to be slow. Yeah. Or people don't understand. I tell promoters all the time, put a person outside. Hey, go ahead and pull up your tickets. And if you're scanning, put the scanner outside. They can walk down the line and scan and start wristbanding. So when you get searched, you can just go straight in. Some promoters get upset. I want a security to stand by the door and help with. That's not security. I can't take a guard and put them at the door and wristband. Who are they? What are they doing? Yeah. It's the same thing I tell them about the VIP. If you notice, I don't put any security at the VIPs anymore. And the reason being because it looks so confrontational. You got a VIP van, but your girlfriend don't. You want to bring your girlfriend over here, but she don't supposed to go there because she don't got on the band. He said, no, she can't go, but 2 minutes later, this person can go without a band. It gets too confusing. But then at the same time, you're asking security to come over there and say, hey, listen, I just paid $1,500 for this section. I don't want these people standing in front of my section.
Yeah.
So, yeah, does the language problem happen? Yes. It does some barriers? Yes. But some of this is just their own people, too. Rico, if you are afraid to communicate with your own people, I stand no chance.
So really what you're saying is, prior to the event, a week, couple of days, whatever, you need to have a meeting with the promoter.
With the promoter.
And his partners.
Yeah, like don't leave your partners out, right. Especially if they're an invested partner, I should say. Everybody got friends that help them out. Right. We're talking about people who got much money invested in this as you.
Correct.
You can't leave them out. Why? Right. Because I need to make sure that Rico and his partner are on the same page.
And the owner.
And the owner.
Right. So everybody needs to be on the same page.
Got the same understanding.
That's where there's a disconnect, it seems.
Yeah, the disconnect becomes because everybody's so quick to just drop off their money.
Right.
It's more than just your money.
Correct.
Because your mindset is if I paid my money, then I should be able to do whatever because I paid my money.
Right. I
can't tell the owner what to do because it's not my place. But what I will tell you, if it's me I don't even want your money until we have a conversation with everybody. That's engineer, security, partners, ownership. Why? Because then there's an understanding that takes place. So there shouldn't be no confusion about the operational of the event. Now, if you have other issues occur, that's just normal stuff.
Part of the course,
but the actual, the operational of the whole thing, that shouldn't happen.
Okay.
But the reason why the reason why the nights are starting to look bad is because we don't start out the right way. Most of the time, I may get a name from Roz or Keisha or Slack about who event is. I never even see that person. It's everybody else. What you mean I can't do this? It's my party. And then the flip side of that, it's a courtesy thing too. Rico, this may be your party. You see 100 people in line. Wouldn't you not want to bring 10 people this way? As a promoter, we respect and a lot of people say, even if I see you in line, if I come out the door, hey, come on around. Especially if the line long.
Yeah.
If it's your event, hey, come on around.
Yep.
Don't bring 20 people with you. Now these people in line mad.
Yeah.
Now here go your partner telling Rob, oh, security let people in. No, tell yourself the truth. Your partner let them in free. Again, it ain't my job to referee between who do what.
Yeah.
My job is to make sure whoever go in the door going to get searched and they don't go in there and act a fool. It ain't my job to say Rico don't got to pay or this person got to pay. I don't get involved in it because it's not my place.
Yeah.
But this is what people want to say. Oh, well, that's what I got the security for. Or, hey, they're my friends in there, but they don't supposed to be in that section. Can you go tell them to move? No, I seen you walk them over there to that section. So now that you want to sell the section, I should make a move? Now, let's just be honest, Rico. How many people just going to be willingly want to move?
Not many. None, probably.
And that's the thing. Like, people don't want to be realistic either now.
Right.
Now, again, you can always work on your approach. You can always work on the way you speak to people. You can always work on you. But the fact of the matter is, too, the Patriots can do the same.
Respect gets respect.
Yep. Here's the thing. I tell people, like some people who encounter me that never met me before, like, geez, almighty, what is this probably so loud? I'm from South Georgia here. I think everybody talks soft and quiet. You know, I have a loud tone. And so when I'm aggravated, that tone probably triple the time of everybody else. But I'd rather gain your attention by talking loud than put my hands on you. Because here's the flip side of that. We know what's going to happen from that point.
Yep.
I want everybody to have a great experience, whether we at Bliss, Caribbean Connection, or this place or the other. But I also want everybody to understand I would never jeopardize safety to let someone have their way. And that's what it boils down to being. Yeah, I know this the right way, but I need to do it this way. No. People get upset and say, well, we got a full club, but it ain't going to be that many people. If you got a full club and you don't got no artists, the best we can do for you is give you 8 security. Bliss is unique in any other building from the aspect that it has 6 exit doors. Yep. Legally, I should have a person on every exit door. What people don't understand, if a fight or something breaks out in the club, the people that's at the front door and the exit doors don't supposed to never move. Because you don't know what the diversion is. Most time we put people at every exit door and it's just me walking around. But we do it in the name of keeping the cost down.
Right.
We do it in the name of trying to operate within everybody's budget and guidelines. But what people don't understand is legally it's all wrong. If you go downtown to Rum Punch, you go to any of the places downtown, you see anywhere between 15 to 25 security. And you know why? It's because they do it by square footage. They do it by the type of event and the number of expected attendees. Minimum.
Right.
When I started doing security, at Club Kaya, which way,
Long time ago.
nobody, security was never a paid by the hour job. When we walk in the door, whoever having the party at night give every security officer $400. It was $100 for every hour. After the 4 hours, it's $150 an hour. Take it or leave it. It wasn't no negotiating. It wasn't no talking about it. It wasn't, it's prices too high. It wasn't none of that. Over time, it changed that some people start getting into what it is per hour and stuff like that. But I want people to ask themselves this one question. Would I want to go somewhere that don't have security and make sure that I'm safe? Because that's what it boils down to being.
Right.
And I try to tell the promoter, yeah, you're paying for it. I get it. And yeah, you may even lose some. But I can assure you, you'll have more people return to your event than anybody else because they can respect the fact that you went the extra mile.
To make sure that they're secure.
No, I tell you one prime example, one person who just sticks out of my mind, DJ Choice. No matter where I'm at with his event, no matter what he's doing, Ricky, whatever it costs and whatever got to be done, because I don't want nothing to happen to none of these people or their cars. Showville, Ricky, whatever it costs, whatever got to be done, because I don't want nothing to happen to my people or their cars. Then you have other people. That's not my problem. Not my responsibility. I don't care. But none of them will come up here on the Rico show and say that. They'll just say, Bliss got some fucked up security and it ain't right. Yeah. And it's not the case. So to answer your question, I think it all starts with a conversation and ends with a conversation. See, nobody talks about the battles we have at the end of the night when people don't want to pay. Okay. Rico, in the last 3 weeks, we've had the police call us on us at the bank because we're standing in line with fake money. Nobody replaces that money.
Whoa.
2 weeks ago, I took money from a promoter. The bill was $1,254. $365 all fake bills.
But is it their fault? I mean,
so,
are they supposed to check the money when they come
So
in?
what should happen is whoever at the door should have a pen checking the money. Whoever at the bar should be checking the money. And the promoter themselves should be checking the money. Mm-hmm. So we implemented a new policy that if anybody give us cash, we are not taking any bills larger than 20s. And the problem could persist. What's going to end up happening is you're going to have to pay your bill up front.
Wow. And
do it through electronically. Mm-hmm. And I understand people don't like the paper trail and stuff like that, but you got to remember, I'm taking all the loss because I still got to pay my team. Yeah. I can't tell them, oh, they gave me fake money, so I can't pay them. I can't go back to Rouse and say, hey, I got fake money from the people who are going to replace it. Yeah. Because his thing is, well, I didn't give it to you. You got to talk to the promoter. Right. The promoter thing is, well, no, that didn't happen. So in the last 3 weeks, we've had $875 of fake bills. Wow. We lost $1,000 with the parking. Wow. And then we had one person actually still owe.
Okay.
So there are some issues. The language barrier being the overall one. Mm-hmm. But it goes a little deeper than that, the stuff that people don't talk about. But people get an attitude when they come back to Bliss, and I said, Ralston, you more than welcome to do business with them, but I won't show up. See, because the thing of it is, Rico, I don't mind taking the loss,
right,
but you won't get me twice.
Gotcha.
And I'm not blaming the promoter, but ultimately it's your responsibility because you're the one giving out the money. You put these people in place, and they allowed the fake money to come in however it came.
On that note, let's wrap up. Let me just say, man, I think it was really big of you because when you reached out to me the first time, I was actually surprised. Because again, I didn't disrespect you in any way.
No.
I just said what needed to be said. But the fact that you reached out and you said, you were willing to come on the show, I was like, wow, that's very transparent because most people wouldn't be that transparent. Let's be honest.
Because I don't want people to walk away thinking I'm just a hard ass who don't care.
Right.
Because it's not.
And there's always three sides to a story.
It always.
You know what I'm saying?
Always.
You know, so I wanted, and I'm happy that you came on in and really set the record straight, because we really needed to know the other side. I learned some things today that I didn't know.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm pretty sure they learned some things today that they didn't know, that they should know.
Yeah.
Most importantly. So, Ricky, man.
You know, I appreciate the opportunity because, again, anytime you have an opportunity to educate,
Right.
it's always important.
Absolutely.
Because it's easy to assume. And we always assume simply because we don't know.
Yes.
Now, when you start to educate people, maybe it changed the mindset of the patron. It changed the mindset of the promoter. It changed the mindset of the ownership.
Correct.
And it also gives us a teaching tool in security.
Correct.
People think that I just willy-nilly pick up people off the street and stuff. I don't. Like I do my best to operate within the law. Just from the standpoint, I know several people gotten away with it for years. Rico, I'm you know, as big as I am, I'm scared of jail. I don't operate too well in handcuffs in jail.
You were a correction officer, so you know the deal.
I don't. No, I'm good on that. You know, so
Gotcha.
because at the end of the day, that's the only thing I have to stand on is that I try to do it right. And sometimes doing it right ain't gonna always make everybody happy.
True.
So again, if you feel ever offended by anything that myself or my staff done, let me be the first to apologize, because we don't want you to walk away with that experience. Secondly, I'm always willing to talk to anybody about any past misunderstandings, any dust-ups, whatever. But I also want all of you guys to take away that I want you to go back home the way you came. We see it every day in the news, the newspaper, on your cell phone, of these horrific things happening at the club. In the 9 years, you can't find Bliss, Atrium, Olay, or even when we were doing gossip, you see none of those people on there. It's because I take pride in making sure you go home the way you came. And that's it.
Enough said. Folks, once again, this is Take 5. My special guest today, Security, Ricky, of Bliss Lounge, and many other places as well, but we're specifically focused on Bliss Lounge today. My brother.
I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
Yep.
We'll catch you next time on another edition of Take 5.
This episode of Take 5 with Ricovibes is brought to you by
I know a place.
Join us this and every Sunday for Memory Lane Sundays at Premier Restaurant and Lounge, featuring music by some of Atlanta's top DJs, playing the best oldies but goodies.
You think I love
Complimentary chicken with rice and peas with drink purchase. Doors open 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. sharp. Free parking, free admission, and free food. Dining, drinking, dancing, and hookahs each and every Sunday at Memory Lane Sundays. Inside Premier Restaurant and Lounge, 6924 Main Street in Lithonia.